Um, I didn't trade. I watched it. There was hunger days. um, it wasn't the best. Um, I don't know if morning session will be better, but I don't know if PM session will be better, but AM wasn't the best. Obviously, we had this is no news. We just come off of FOMC Wednesday. Yeah, the daily time frame. I mean, look, you can look yourself. We're just stuck in a range, like a 700 point range, from this high to this low, just stuck. So it's not great. Obviously, we was taking advantage of this gap. We played the sells down, then we got SMT at this low, so that was completed. But since coming back up, you could have probably caught, probably caught sells again in here, sells here. But as soon as we inversed it, we should be going higher. My eyes instantly go for this little high here, and then obviously we can start seeking gaps that's been filled and respected once we've got fresh gaps above. That's where my eyes get drawn to. However, we inversed this with SMT and we haven't done much. So yeah, the main thing I was looking at is this level here, which is daily CSD, 4 hour, makes it look a bit more clear. You can see this 4 hour level has been supporting price. So you could have caught longs of that today. I did have that marked on my chart, but I really could not tell whether it was going to be bearish or bullish. I did not know whether we'd use this order block or this fair value gap, and it was not great. So I didn't take a trade. I just watched. But it looks like this level here did get respected. So yeah, it's just one of them things where the daily is really unclear. Cool, we've inversed it. But then we reclaimed it, and this candle did not reclaim it again. So technically this is a bearish gap. This gap here is bearish, so we shouldn't be buying whilst being inside of it. So yeah, it's not the easiest to read. I mean, looking at it now, literally as a barcode. Up, down, up, down, up, down. It's really not done anything. But these are the two key levels that we've been respecting the whole time. And this order block as well. Is there anything on the daily? No, just 4 hour order block as well. So we've been really stuck between these order blocks. But yeah, so let's go into it with perfect hindsight. Obviously, we had this on our chart marked. Looking back in hindsight as well, when we had this inverse gap, which could technically have been your higher time frame PD array. I've personally never used an inverse gap for a market maker model off. I don't know what the rules are in that aspect, but I don't think that is a valid MMXM. But yeah, perfect hindsight. This is the beauty of it. Now, yeah, it's a market review. However, I didn't trade. This is me going back in perfect hindsight as well. Why do you think? Well, that sounds a bit aggressive, but the reason why I waited until market was pretty much over, I could have done this at 12, but I just waited a bit more, doing a couple of things, because I want to see perfect hindsight. I don't want to make a market view at 11 and then it completely changes. I want to do it after it's completely done, and then I can move on. So yeah, this 4 hour order block, we do have SMT at the lows, and then this inverse. I suppose that could be our 4-hour analysis. Hourly, there's really not much. Yeah, really not much. Maybe just find something inside of this inverse. Probably not though. Yeah. There's not really anything here. Just the same as like the 4-hour, this low order block, I suppose held price. I believe it ran it to the tick. Yeah, that's perfect. So we've got S&T, 4-hour inverse, 4-hour order block, 1-hour order block. But nothing else other than that. We obviously had this come through and we inversed this at 11, but then post 11, inversed it again, and then 12 to 1, then inversed it again. So yeah, not really the easiest to read. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing, which I didn't see before. I didn't see the 4-hour inverse before, which is good, because I've learnt something. But yeah, other than that, I can't really see too much. So yeah, 4-hour inverse, 4-hour order block, 1-hour order block. There's just not really that many gaps. That's the problem here. There's not many gaps. Like ideally, what we see is move up into a fresh gap or like a respected gap, and then we get the cells to here, and then if it wants to continue lower, it can, or if it wants to reverse and do whatever it wants, it can. But yeah, ideally we get that, and we have not got that anywhere. I'm gonna have to do some research. Can you count inverse gaps as your high time frame for VeloGap for MMXMs? We'll see. I'll find out. I suppose in this case it did, because this was the only thing that we had. But I've personally never seen it before. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, that's the high time frame. So you've got 4-hour inverse, 4-hour order block, S&T, 1-hour order block. So now we can go on to the M15. Actually did tap 50% of that as well, which is nice. Yeah, M15, you'd want to see this inverse gap and this inverse gap. We used the lower one to bottom tick, as you can see. So we'll just keep that there. There's still no gaps being printed on either side. So yeah, not the best. The target would be this high, or this high. Either one of these 3 highs. Because thinking of basic MMXM guidelines, okay, I do it differently, but what they say is use the original console, first distribution, second distribution, SMR. So technically you would have 3 targets. You'd have the SMR, the second distro high, first distro high, and the original console. So you can always have 3 targets that connect to the SMR. So here, this would be like the original console. You want to kind of look at the low and see what connects to it. So a lot of the time I just target the second distro high. but you can link 3 highs to the SMR. So you don't have to, you can just target this one, you can target that one, or you can target that one. And that is why sometimes, well, that tagged it, but sometimes people that target like these highs never get filled. Reason being is because this has got no link to that. This is an old high compared to the SMR. So the first target you can always target is the first high, and then the second high, and then the third high. Some people don't even class this as like a distro point. They class, well, this one and this one. It's all personal preference. If you want a higher win rate, target this one. Especially on moves that are ERL to IRL, so they don't even come to a high, they just come to a gap. You always want to target the first, but at least go break even, because the likelihood of this high being part of a fair value gap is pretty high. And I mean, there's no gaps in this leg, but on higher probability days, I mean here, this high links to that gap, so you could have just targeted this one, because in respect of MXMs, yeah, you could target highs, but high probability of your target being reached is if it is a high that's in a gap. That makes sense. So you got a gap, right? You've got this gap, but what people don't show you when they trade is they just go, oh, I'm targeting this low, and then that low gets hit and people go, okay, I'll just target random lows, but they don't realize that this low is a gap, so it's got higher probability to draw to it. That makes sense. So yeah, ideally find a high that connects to a gap, whether that be on the 4 hour like this one does, hourly, whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, we had these targets. You could target any of these. Ideally I just mark 3, minimum 1, obviously. You can mark 3 back, or you can mark 4. It's personal preference. It completely stopped here, but I wonder if that is part of anything else. Probably not, because we literally don't have anything to work with. Yeah, but yeah, that's where it stopped. Anyways, yeah, so that these would be our targets. Obviously in hindsight, this is the OTE using bodies. That's literally OTE perfection. Yeah, we can go on to M1, see if we can find a trade. Obviously you want to kind of align with macro, and this does perfectly. So this is 11:45 to 12:15 macro. It completely reverses. As you can see here, 11:45. What do? Tap into the PD array. We then get this inverse gap, and as long as your stop loss is at that low, so as we inverse it, probably get filled like there, or 50% get filled there. As long as your stop loss is below this low, or you could even have it here, depends how you want to play it, you would have been fine. And then your targets are as followed up here. Now if you had these, you probably wouldn't want your stop that tight, so you could probably put it to like this low, because realistically, if this low is tapping the order block, we shouldn't really need to come back if we've got somewhere to be. Obviously this is your clear MMXM, as you can see. Sell side of the curve, buy side of the curve. And this would be your second distribution leg. So you can see here, first distro, OTE, second distro is the quickest. As you can see, second distro was the quickest. So yeah, I mean, hopefully that was insightful. Yeah, I don't really need to say too much on that. I've just gone for a video review. I kind of enjoy doing the videos where I just completely just do it freestyle and just look instead of sugarcoating things, and you know. So yeah, that's my market review. I'll try and make some videos on the weekend. Maybe some psychology. I haven't done them in a while, which would be good for me to do. But yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit.